guys, so this is just going to be a quick lesson on how to accompany a vocalist or a singer. Now, I've already got a video on how to comp where I explain how to accompany an instrumental soloist. And all the rules that apply to comping for an instrumentalist also apply when comping for a soloist. But there are also a couple extra unique factors to take into consideration when comping for singers. The most important of which is the fact that the voice, unlike most instruments, is not tuned to a specific note or to a specific tuning system. It doesn't have fixed notes, like the keys on the piano or frets on a guitar or valves on a trumpet. And unfortunately, because singing is just such a natural human impulse, singers who don't also know how to play an instrument often don't know very much music theory. You can easily learn to sing by ear and not really have to bother about learning to read notes or play chords or understand harmonic progressions. This, of course, is a broad generalization and isn't completely accurate, so take it with a grain of salt and just as an anecdotal comment. But for this reason, when comping for a singer, you should generally keep it simple. Simpler than if you were comping for a saxophonist or a guitarist. And I'll explain the implications of this in a moment. So when comping for anyone, you obviously need to learn the chords, use appropriate chord voicings, use appropriate left-hand techniques like stride or walking bass lines or bass ostinatos or whatever. That's a given when comping for any instrument, really. And I have separate videos on all of those things. But when comping for singers specifically, there are essentially two other things you need to keep in mind. First, keep it simple. And second, don't overpower the singer. So keeping it simple means exactly that. Keep your harmony and your rhythm simple. So play simple seventh chords or rootless voicings using regular tertian harmony, so building your chords in thirds. Unless the singer you're comping is Ella Fitzgerald or has perfect pitch, chromatically descending quartal chords will probably throw them off. And when you're comping, occasionally use voicings that have the melody note on top. This gives the singer a reference point. And that way they know where they are and if they're singing in tune. And you want to create a really steady rhythm by, for example, using a solid walking bass line to outline the chords and keep that rhythm going by just hitting each beat on the beat. You don't want to complicate things too much, at least at first, with, complex polyrhythms or anything like that. Because a steady rhythm allows a singer to delay or anticipate the melody and still have a clear rhythmic reference point. If the singer starts singing behind the beat and you start comping behind the beat, you're both going to get lost. So really, the idea is to give the singer a point of reference and an anchor to hold onto. By playing quite simple and steady and on the beat, you allow the singer to be a bit more expressive and experimental without getting lost in the harmonic or rhythmic soup. The other thing you have to do is to not overpower the singer. So lower your volume, especially if you're playing with a soft singer. Second, stay out of the singer's range. If you're comping for a soprano, play a walking bass line in the bottom register and chords in the middle. If you're comping for a tenor, play a walking bass line in the bottom register and fills and stuff at the top, so that you leave the middle open for the tenor. And finally, as a general rule, when the singer is singing, play sparsely, and when the singer is not singing, play a bit busier. It's really quite hard to sing over a really busy John Coltrane solo. So when the singer is singing the melody, keep the harmony really quite sparse and interspersed with a lot of pauses and rests. You can use breaks in the music where you stop playing for a couple beats or for a bar and let the vocalist sing a few lines on their own. That's a really powerful and great sounding technique. But then conversely, during rests or pauses in the melody, feel free to insert a little fill or lick before the melody begins again. So if the melody goes ba ba bum and then rests, you can put in a little fill. And then the melody starts up again. And that's really it. As long as you follow the general rules of comping which I covered in my how to comp video, as well as these few extra little ideas when comping for a singer, that should be enough. And obviously it goes without saying that you do need to agree on a key, a style and a tempo with the singer beforehand, but that's a given. And of course, if your singer does have perfect pitch and is quite an advanced and competent singer, then you can start introducing some more complexity into your comping. But to begin with, keep it simple and sparse and don't overpower the singer because you don't want to throw them off. Now, I'm not much of a singer, but to demonstrate what I just said, I will demean myself for your benefit and your pleasure. I will attempt to sing a great little jazz blues song by Mose Allison called I Don't Worry About a Thing. And as I'm doing this, pay attention to the walking bass line that keeps the rhythm nice and steady, the relatively simple harmonies I'm using that are quite sparse, the little fills I'm introducing in between the melody, and the breaks I use where I just stop completely playing for a couple beats so that the melody is really center stage, front and center, and to help create a sort of a bit of contrast between, just the melody by itself, melody with chords, just the melody by itself, melody with chords, and so on. Cool, so enjoy and apologies in advance.
If this life is driving you to drink, you sitting around wondering just what to think, well, I'll give you some consolation, give it to you if I might. Well, I don't worry about a thing, cause I know nothing's gonna be alright. This world's just one big trouble spot, cause some got plenty and some got not. Well, I used to be troubled, but I finally saw the light. Well, I don't worry about a thing, cause I know nothing's gonna be alright. Don't waste your time trying to be a go-getter. Things will get worse before they get any better. So is someone playing